Welcome to the European Parliamentary Research Service podcasts.
The European Union wants to secure sufficient funding for critical technologies such as microelectronics, renewable energy, or biotechnologies to cut dependencies from third countries and be able to meet the demands of the green and digital transitions. But how is the EU going to achieve this? Stay with us.
Competition for global tech dominance is raging, especially for mastery of key technologies such as artificial intelligence, 5G, quantum technologies, semiconductors, clean and biotechnologies.
But these policies require massive investments. That's why major economies around the world, from China to the US, Japan, India or Korea, have been setting up some form of scheme to support their industries. And the EU is on the same path.
Over the past years, and aware of the need to boost the competitiveness of the European economy, the EU has put forward several initiatives to support its industry, such as the CHIPS Act or the Critical Raw Materials Act. Yet, the EU still lacks a more structural answer to match the vast investment needs of its industries.
To bridge this gap, in June 2023, the European Commission proposed to set up a Strategic Technologies for Europe platform, or STEP in short. Now, what will STEP do?
Essentially, STEP would strengthen Europe's manufacturing capacity of critical technologies, their value chains, and ensure there are enough people who actually know how to develop, produce, and use them.
So what technologies are we talking about?
Well, it's mainly about deep and digital technologies, including microelectronics, quantum computing, and AI, clean technologies, including renewables, hydrogen and sustainable fuels, and biotechnologies, including pharma and medical technologies.
By proposing to reprogram funds under existing EU instruments and adding an extra 10 billion euros, the European Commission aims to generate up to 160 billion euros of new investments in the coming years.
In a sense, STEP would be a test and a possible first step towards a fully fledged European Sovereignty Fund, as initially announced by Ursula von der Leyen during her 2022 State of the Union speech.
STEP would introduce a sovereignty seal as a kind of quality label for top quality projects contributing to the STEP objectives. It would also bring about a dedicated portal with information on funding opportunities for STEP investments.
So, how has the proposal been received in the European Parliament and by the stakeholders? Stay with us.
In October, members of the European Parliament's Industry and Budget Committees voted in favour of setting up the new platform, albeit with a broader scope and more cash from member states. We spoke to the co-rapporteur, José Manuel Fernandes.
We must ensure that critical technologies in strategic sectors in the European Union have all the possible resources available. To go even further on the top-ups of the existing funds, our proposal, the proposal of the European Parliament, demands for 13 billion more. This is the way to have STEP and at the same time not harm the objectives of InvestEU, Horizon Europe and the European Defence Fund.
Analysts from the Tax Foundation, one of the stakeholders, have called the proposal a misstep, arguing its meagre size would make it unable to compete with similar schemes in the US or China and could even fuel a subsidy race to the bottom, thus distorting the single market and compromising cohesion inside the EU.
Environmental organizations and the clean tech industry have also criticized its lack of ambition and clarity. To Climate Action Network Europe, it's a missed opportunity to secure positive social or environmental outcomes and an ill-conceived tool to achieve the Green Deal objectives or yield climate action.
Negotiations will now continue between the Council and the European Parliament before a final proposal can be adopted. So, stay tuned.
And check out Guillaume Ragonneau and Marine Milozhnik's full policy brief on the EPRS website or in our app.
This is a European Parliamentary Research Service podcast.
Thanks for listening.